I'm going to spit some truths about NIL because I'm feeling empowered by the fact that everything I said has happened. Hasn't been all negative, but there's been a lot of negative. And then we'll discuss. This is a big kind of hot button topic where Pat Narduzzi is the head coach of Pitt. Now, keep in mind that Pitt is in the ACC. Okay? He's in the ACC. And when he was talking about Drake Maye, who's the quarterback of North Carolina, he's not talking about his own player. Now, Narduzzi lost his star wide receiver to USC last year. Here's what Pat Narduzzi said on Pony Mueller about the transfer portal.
I heard 2 schools, $5 million. I know the schools. I can't tell you, but I know the schools too. It's called tampering, and it's really bad, guys. The NCAA's got us all in a bad spot right now, and I think it's only going to get uglier because there are no rules on the road. I'm hearing all kinds of things. I'm hearing guys are getting paid even before they enter. They're getting bonuses for just signing tomorrow. Kids are being paid in high school now a certain amount of money, and then when you get there, then we give you this money. High school players. It's bad, it's not something that's, that I'm real proud as a member of the American Football Coaches Association of being part of. But it's a world we're living in. I'm going to try to just, keep our guys in line and make sure they understand that they're coming for an education. And that's the priority. And I want them to get coached hard. And we want to take care of their name, image, and likeness the right way and do things the right way.
Okay, so what happens in this situation is people freak out, and I've seen writers who don't know their ass from their head saying, "Oh, Pat Narduzzi, he left one school to go to another." There's a like, So here's what's happened: is the goalposts have been moved, right? Because that's what people do when they know they're wrong. They don't say, "Hey, we were wrong. This is bad. Let's fix it." They say, no. Okay, so the idea of name, image, and likeness it's a lot like the idea of capitalism or the idea of socialism, communism, whatever. On paper, works. Reality, much more difficult. Right? The idea of name, image, and likeness is if Johnny Manziel comes into Texas A&M and wins the Heisman Trophy and re-energizes a gigantic fan base, and somebody wants to pay him $50,000 to be a spokesperson for the Piggly Wiggly, well, then Johnny Manziel should be able to be a spokesperson for the Piggly Wiggly. That is the theory behind it. And the idea of it was proposed by a lot of these same people that are now moving the goalposts. They're all full of crap. Okay, not Narduzzi. They're all full of it. And where they're like, "Wow, I can't believe this has even happened." But, and then they start making other excuses. The idea of that, and my stance has always been, and always will be, okay, that this actually, name, image, and likeness and getting paid for your successes in college has always existed as soon as you're done playing. Compensation has always existed. The compensation was a full scholarship, room, board, tuition, plus the constant promotion, as well as the coaching and the overall support. But as is the case with human nature, and it's the reason that communism doesn't work, it's the same reason that capitalism doesn't work, is that we are greedy as human beings. We are greedy. We just, I got to have more. And we don't think of, well, I mean, it's like there's a Little Mermaid, right? Oh, you want legs? Okay, sign on the dotted line. There's a downside to it. College football is not an ATM. These people aren't ATMs. No, and if it's an ATM, there's a limit there to what you can take out per day and how much is actually in your bank. We act like it's an unlimited. Well, they signed $1 billion. They don't get $1 billion. Yes, they get a lot of money. Big Ten school is going to get $75 million. All these things, all these operations cost a lot of money to run. And lots of schools don't get all that money. So the point is that we went from this name, image, and likeness, which if you wanted to tell me you could protect it and make it so that it was name, image, and likeness, and that if you succeeded scholastically, you succeeded athletically in your athletics, that you could then benefit off your name, then yeah, if you can protect it, then I can't really find an argument with it. I think you can wait. I mean, I can name 100 guys right now who have non-sports jobs that wouldn't have their job, wouldn't be financially where they are if they hadn't played at their university because they went to work for Stryker or whomever else, and they're in sales or listen to my show right now. They're like, yeah, of course he's right. I only got the job because I played at pick the school, and that's how I made my connections. And when I walked in to do the interview, because the guy had seen me play, it was over. It was completely and totally over. So name, image, and likeness did previously exist, and we tried to act like this would be name, image, and likeness. And I told you, as others did as well, that it wasn't going to be name, image, and likeness. It's just going to be buying players. The other part to it is that anyone who is successful early on and has it all lined out in terms of how they collect the money and doesn't affect the bottom and all that other stuff, you want to know what this is a tell of? They were cheating before. Because the schools that are ahead of it, they cheated previously, so they already have the infrastructure for how everything works. Who gives the money, where it goes, how it gets, all that stuff. Now it's legal. Maybe not be ethical, but legal. The smart schools generally can't compete because most of, the Stanfords of the world, the Cals of the world, the Vanderbilts of the world, you have really smart, bright people who they want to win, but they know that the reason that people are rich oftentimes is they understand what a loss leader is and return on investment is, and you're not getting that money back. And if you're buying a recruit who hadn't even peed a drop in college football, you have no idea if he can play. But what's happened is the goalposts have been moved in this way. It used to be about, hey, these kids should be able to benefit off their name, image, and likeness. And now they should be able to get whatever money they can get while they can get it, regardless of how they get it. Wait, what? So you changed and then you're like, no, everybody else is the bad guy? And to Narduzzi, he's right. The NCAA has stepped away. Go ahead. They've done exactly what the police have done in many major cities, where they go, oh, you didn't like how we conducted our business? Fine, you handle it. That's what the NCAA has done. Fine, you handle it. No. Listen, it's okay. You guys know better than we do. You handle it. It's gross. It's gross. And Narduzzi lost Jordan Addison. And remember, Pitt offered, I know the guy who was going to help take care of him with his business, name, image, and likeness, to stay at Pitt. He was like, we couldn't raise the money that SC had. We are teaching young men to not be loyal. We are making it not just easy to, if you go somewhere you don't play, or like A&M when it doesn't work out well, skip adversity. It's not just that. We are ruining the number one thing you go to school for. It's not a degree, although we're ruining that too. It's not playing time. All right? It's the college experience. Like, what college experience do you have? You have money in your pocket. Nobody else in college, most of them don't have money, which is fine. You're allowed to, based upon the rules. But if you don't act with most of these players, they don't go to school with the kids. They do online stuff. And if something doesn't work out, something doesn't go right, if every penny isn't paid, or they don't play as much, or a coach is mean to them and pushes them, they just transfer. And anyone's been to college knows it takes like a year to really assimilate and feel like it's home. When you go to a university or a college, wherever you've gone to, it becomes your second home. It becomes the greatest 4 or 5 years of your life, or Tommy Boy, 7 years of your life. And we are allowing those experiences to be ruined by this nonsense, by these idiots that have zero idea what they're talking about. They see colleges making money. You know what else colleges make money off of? Everybody. Hey, dummies, they make money off of everybody. The chemistry student that you're like, well, the chemistry student just pays through the nose. Everything costs. They actually had to pay the bill. And then you ask their parents for money. They had to pay to apply to a school. Then they get in, then they got to pay for room, board, tuition, all that other stuff. Then they're hitting their parents up for it. Their parents have to come there for Parents Weekend. Then the second they graduate, they hit you up for more money. Oh, you want to be part of Alumni Association? That's going to cost you $250 a year. Oh, you want to buy those tickets? Well, you got to donate to the university. Then you got to buy the tickets. They make money off of everybody. But we only go after the money because it can be traced with the TV contracts. So my advice is all of these liars who are in the media, and I'm not saying the media is fake news, whatever, but you've had a lot of people who have covered college sports for a long time that profess this incredible sin of the NCAA not providing kids the ability to have a simple name, image, and likeness. And now you have, it's not free agents. It is the worst I've ever seen. The things you hear, it's the worst I've ever seen. Like, dude, Drake Maye, he's at North Carolina. He doesn't have a good finish to the year. He went from being, some people thought, number one overall pick to he's coming back for another year. Should be celebrated. To where, not in the portal, dudes are calling him, offering him up a bunch of money. And then you move the goalpost by saying it's no longer about name, image, and likeness. It's about, hey, just get paid the most you can get paid. It's gross. We're gross. All of you are gross. And I'll feel free to challenge me on whatever. The system worked for a long time. It worked for a long, long, long time. And the calls for guys to get compensated. And here's what's going to happen. Okay? Mark my words. People thought that players were exploited previously. Now wait. You want to see exploitation? Now wait. I mean, it's like the Deion thing. Like, Deion did a great job at Jackson State, but it wasn't about Jackson State, man. It will always be about Deion. And you got kids who could have gone to a higher level school, a school with a greater academic reputation. And they said, no, I want to go trust and play for Deion. And they went and played. And now Deion's gone. And you can, maybe some of them can follow him to Colorado. I'm guessing most of them are not at that level. Right? How many Jackson State kids are going to make it to Colorado? And if you go to Colorado, it means, yeah, I still trust, but now I got to go to a completely different region of the country. Maybe it's a school I don't want to go to. And, oh, yeah, by the way, you know, I went to this lower level school. Now I have tape, but it's at Jackson State. It's not the same tape that everybody who went Division I has. And I understand what you're saying. I understand you're probably saying to yourself, wait, now you're criticizing a coach. Part of these writers is they're saying coaches can do whatever they want. Yes. Yes. They have earned that right. And they have to pay their buyout. And that buyout funds the next coach and whatever else at the university. So it's on the athletic director to put in a hefty, healthy buyout. And if you don't want a big buyout, then don't coach at my university. Fine. But I'm actually about the kids, the players. I actually care about their entire future. And what we do is we tell them the transfer portal, oh, my God, you're going to go in there and you're going to get paid. And most of them don't even have a place to go play once they answer the portal.